warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, today I will read a story from 366, The Fairy Tale of the Month, Cinderella by Brown Watson. This video was made to fulfill English final exam. Before I read the story, I will introduce myself. My name is Rizqi Romadon. I'm from Kelas MI21 A4 from Pelita Bangsa University. So, and the story begins. Once upon a time there was a beautiful, sweet young girl with blue eyes and long blonde hair. She was the daughter of a rich merchant who loved her dearly. When her mother died, her father decided his daughter would need a good woman to bring her up and take care of her, and so he married again. Unfortunately, the stepmother turned out to be greedy and selfish, and her two daughters, the stepsister of the beautiful young girl, were arrogant and envious. Since the merchant often had to travel, the stepmother and stepsister began to rule the household. The young girl was forced always to dress in rags, dirty from dust and cinders, so much so that everyone soon began to call her Cinderella. One day, the son of the king, who wished to marry, invited all the young women in the kingdom to a great ball, so that he could meet them and choose a wife. In Cinderella's house, they began to make great preparation. Expensive clothes were purchased, different hairstyles were tried, and a selection was made of jewels to wear. Nothing made Cinderella, stepmother and stepsister happy, and she, as usual, served them without a word of complaint. She, too, had been invited to the ball, but her stepmother had refused to take her. At last, the long-awaited evening arrived. The stepsisters were transformed, each wearing a beautiful dress covered in jewels. Cinderella felt so unhappy as she watched them depart. She too would have loved to go to the ball. She too would have loved to wear a silk dress. The poor girl couldn't hold back her sob. She cried so much that the floor was bathed in her terror. But when she raised her eyes, she was face to face with a beautiful lady. It was her very good mother. "Why are you crying, little Cinderella? Do you too wish to go to the ball?" the lady asked her. "The ball is no place for me," replied Cinderella sadly. "Well, see about that. Bring me a pumpkin." With one touch of her magic wand, the lady changed the pumpkin into a splendid carriage. She changed four maids into horse and a couple of lizards into the coachman in livery. "Everything is ready," said her fairy godmother. "You may go to the ball, but dressed like this," said Cinderella, pointing to her rags. The fairy godmother said, "You are absolutely right." With a wave of her wand, the rags disappeared, and Cinderella found herself wearing a silk dress studded in gold, crystal slipper, and precious jewels. On Cinderella's lovely face needed no change, for now she was happy and smiling. "Now get in a go," said the fairy godmother, "but remember, at the first stroke of midnight you must leave the ball. At that moment my spell will cease to work. The carriage will again become a pumpkin, the horse will be mice again, and the coachman will become lizard once more, and you will be the same Cinderella as before, dressed in rags. The ball was fabulous. Everyone admired the unknown princess, and the prince insisted on dancing with her all evening. Cinderella's hair overflowed with joy. Then the clock struck the first stroke of midnight. Cinderella did not lose a moment. Still smiling, she ran quickly away. The prince ran after her, but could not catch her. The only trace of her that he found was a little crystal slipper that Cinderella had lost while running down the place stair. At the place the prince was desolate. He had to find the beautiful girl who was at the ball, the one who had lost her slipper. There was a royal announcement, and the young maiden in the kingdom were to try on the slipper, and the prince would marry the girl. It fitted perfectly. The morning after, the court officials began their search, but not one young maiden managed to fit into the extraordinary slipper. Finally, the prince arrived at the merchant house, and both of the stepsisters tried on the slipper. Absolutely useless. It was so small and so delicate that they could not even get their toes into it. The prince, who was growing ever more sad and despondent, was about to leave when he noticed Cinderella, who was standing shyly in the background. "And who are you?" he asked. "Oh, she only a servant," replied the stepmother. But the prince looked into Cinderella's eyes and in great astonishment commanded her to sit down. Before the chamberlain, she extended her foot. The slipper was a perfect fit. Immediately, Cinderella was dressed as she was at the ball. The prince asked her to be his wife, and the marriage was celebrated that very day. It was a magnificent ceremony worthy of their great love. And as regards the stepmother and stepsister, the prince might have wanted to punish them for their weakness, but Cinderella chose to forgive them. She invited them all to come and live with her at the royal place, and soon after, the two stepsisters married to noble knights of the court. Her stepmother at last realized the error of her ways and became kind and gentle to everyone. So the story finished with the most beautiful spell of all. They lived happily ever after. Well, maybe that's enough for me. Sorry if there are word mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.